go. That's Monallo right there. And let's see if we can get him in here to where we can. All right. Can you hear us, brother?
I can hear. Can you hear me?
Good, man. Good. Let me move you here to the top. There we go. That's B-Dog down in the studio there. And we were debating, and we didn't even have this conversation when you and I talked the other day. Is it Monallo? Is that how you say it?
So Monallo.
Monallo. All right, Monallo.
Yeah. Think of Mahalo.
Monallo.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, welcome to Sunday Mornings with a Tiki Man. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on and share your musical journey with us and all the Tiki Man Radio listeners out there in radio land, So tell us a little bit.
For having me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was telling them earlier that we got we discovered you whenever that we had the Florida benefit for the hurricane. And first of all, how's things down in Florida right now? I know that we just had another benefit with the functional drunks to get attention back on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, things are better, but it's still a work in progress.
Yeah. Yes.
I live in Cape Coral. So things are kind of getting back here, but over towards the beach more. It's still a lot of work, but everybody's doing a great job. So it's great to see people come together, and all the benefits and stuff have been awesome. It's been great. Great to see the response to it all. But
yeah,
I actually have internet this time, other than the benefit that we tried to do with you. It was a bit of a hassle, but we got it.
Well, that was through together pretty fast, and everybody knew that internet was going to, well, they may have not thought it was going to be an issue, but it turned out to be an issue. But, they kind of made their way through it, did a great job. Donnie Brewer and Boomer Blake and all them, they did a good job with that. So, but let's talk a little bit about you, man. How long have you been living down in Florida and playing music?
So, playing music for a while now. I guess 12-ish years actually playing, 7 years more as the actually like writing my own music and performing around that. But we just moved to Florida last May, so we were new to Florida, and that was kind of our initiation in the fall.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. And so you moved to Florida. Everybody tells you about hurricanes, and so you moved to Florida, and bam, one of the nastiest ones we've had in a long time in that area blows up. Was you ever like, maybe this wasn't such a great idea?
Well, we said we were in Florida. We knew it was a possibility, and that one sure was a little worse than everybody was thinking it was going to be.
Yeah.
So we that's the cost to live here, and we are rebuilding, and we still love it here. So.
Yeah,
we're happy to be here.
Well, it's really the anywhere you live, right? So if you live up north, you're going to have snow up to your butt for 4 or 5 months. Here in Tennessee, because we talk about moving down to the Keys all the time, and people are, that's the first thing they do is talk about hurricanes and stuff. And I'm like, well, that's because you never lived through tornadoes. Tornadoes can pop up on a sunny afternoon, and you don't know it's coming. At least with a hurricane, it's coming for at least a week or two, because the Weather Channel, Jim and Cantori and all those crazy guys, they're all over that,
You see Jim, you know where it's going to hit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I actually grew up in Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
So I lived through tornado season as well. So.
Oh, what part of Tennessee?
Like Tullahoma, Manchester.
Not very far away.
It's not far away at all. No,
right down I-24, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're in Harrison Bay, which is just outside of Chattanooga. And Tullahoma is not far at all. And Manchester is actually where Rick the Stick and Patty with Rick's other eye is talking about moving to. And Yeah, Tennessee's a beautiful state to. I like to be on this side of Mount Eagle, but and really people that live in this part of the state, we really don't know what's past Nashville, right? We know Memphis.
I grew up. Everybody's always like, "What's Memphis like?" I was like, "I got no idea."
I have no idea. I was like, Like we were afraid to go past Nashville because the world would fall off. I mean, we didn't know what was out there, and but it's funny.
Memphis is the other side of the world.
Well, listen, if you want to waste a big part of your life, drive from Nashville to Memphis. I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing. Taco Bell's and McDonald's, man. That's it.
I've never been that way. Yeah, crazy.
All right, so you aspiring boat captain and all kinds of things. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. So grew up in Tennessee. Lived in Virginia for a little while. Ended up moving back to Pennsylvania, Erie, and then in Pittsburgh. So moved around a little bit to the East Coast. And then I went to school, University of Pittsburgh. Got an environmental science degree and became an environmental scientist while I was doing music on the side. Mm-hmm. Ended up, I love nature. If you listen to my music and my songs, you can hear a lot of the water. I just love water, fascinated by rivers, lakes, oceans.
Yeah,
I could just write about them for days. So, my job used to be going out to these pristine areas and hike and, do surveying and stuff out there. And it was awesome. Sad part was then a highway was going to be built right through it like a month later. So I was like, I'm going to move more to the music side and do the environmental stuff in my spare time. And I'm just a big fan of the outdoors. So love the beaches, love the oceans, love the rivers.
Yeah.
Aspiring boat captain, that's always my fallback plan.
Yeah.
I think I could get enough hours to get my captain's license and do some charters and stuff. So you got to have a good fallback plan. So that's mine.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Erie, Pennsylvania. Now that's a little bit off the beaten path. And I used to work with a company, and we'd fly into Erie for meetings. And for some reason, it was always in the wintertime. And we used to have to take these little ribbons, and you would tie, if you drove to the airport, you'd come out and you see all these little ribbons tied to the radio antennas on the car and stuff. And that's where people could find their car, because they would have snow all the way up to the windows when they came back. It's just crazy. I'm like, screw all this.
It's not far from where I grew up. I understand.
Yeah. Like you were talking earlier, snow up to here.
Yeah, not for me, man.
I don't miss the snow.
No. So then so has music always kind of been in the background there, just something you've always wanted to do? Or, at what point did you decide to go down that road?
So I've always loved music. I was always little kid singing around the house, whatever. And when I was 16, I was in a car accident.
Yeah.
Almost took my life. And when I got out of that, I was like, you know what? Screw this. I want to learn how to actually do it and learn it. So I got a guitar and started, I took lessons for a couple months and then ended up teaching myself the book how to play it, just listening to some records and stuff. And I just always was drawn to it. And I enjoy writing and performing and telling stories to people through music. So it stuck, and it just became kind of addictive at a point, and I just can't get enough of writing and performing and all that. So it's been great.
Yeah. And then at some point you lost your vocal cords, right?
I did. So while I was in college, I was in a band as just a rhythm guitarist and a backup vocalist. It was a lot of fun. We played some good gigs and opened for some good bands in the Pittsburgh area. And after college, it was kind of that gap between graduation and a real job. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a real shot. So I just started practicing like no other. And I was doing landscaping at the time. So I thought I just had allergies and my voice was getting raspier and raspier and raspier. And then one day it was just gone.
Wow.
So I waited a couple weeks before going to the doctor. And I thought he was just going to say, like, it's just laryngitis, just rest up. And they found some growths on a scope. And they had to do surgery. So probably one of the hardest things I had to do after that surgery was be quiet, no talking for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
So I had a little marker board, and I just write things down. And And then it was Moment of Truth afterwards, because they said, you'll be able to talk, but you don't know to what extent or if you'll be able to sing again. And so it came back, and then it disappeared. And then once it came back again, I was off to the race. I said, I'm not wasting any time. You never know what you got here time wise. So that's when I put out my first solo EP at that point, just under my real name, and it was the first time I'd published my own written songs, and that was 8 years ago now. So
wow.
It's been great ever since. But that's kind of the kick I needed to get started.
So no matter what was going on in your life, you just kind of always went back to music, and at some point you're like, I really enjoy this. I think I'm going to pursue this a little more of my life, right? Instead of just something on the side.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just been great. It's hard. It'd be fun to go back and tell 10-year-old me that I'm on the internet talking to a radio host about my songs. And, I'm putting out a new record this year, and that I can actually play guitar now. And it's great. Back then it was just a dream, and now I get to do it at whatever level I can.
Well, if I could go back and tell my 10-year-old, I'd be like, no, sit down. This is going to take a while. All right. We got a lot to go over. And I'm going to need you to really pay attention to some of this. Okay. Yeah.
That's true. There's probably other things I should tell him.
Yeah. Well, good for you, man. It's, when you're passionate about something, you're kind of always drawn to that, whether your life is allowing you to do it or not is one thing. But, if you're always drifting back to something that's making you happy, then that's the passion part of it, and really changes things for you, So, and then you discovered the whole, what we call coastal Americana radio, the trop rock family, as we call it, or whatever. How did you discover that world?
So once I came down here to Florida, I just kind of started looking for places I could play music, or places that would play my music. My music, no matter where I've lived, people have always said, oh, it kind of reminds me of beach stuff, or I could listen to this while I'm sitting on the beach. It's relaxing, it's a good vibe. So I moved down here. It's like, this seems like a good spot to promote myself a little more than I had in the past. And one way or the other, I got connected with Donnie Brewer, and he sent my stuff to a couple of the trop rock stations and hooked me up with the benefit that we did with you guys and Boomer Blake and all. And everybody's just been so kind, and it's a great community. This is the kind of community I've been looking for, doing all my tours and playing shows over the years. This is the people that my songs are kind of directed at, and it's been a great community to break into. And I'm looking forward to expanding that, because I really just got started last October in the Coastal Americana trop rock group. So I missed out on a lot of the booking ahead, but I'm looking forward to getting in wherever I can and performing for people and sharing my stories.
Wow, that's cool. And it really is a family. We talked about this on the phone, that everybody in the trop rock, Parrot Head, coastal, whatever you want to call it, the world that we're all living in is everybody is always out to help each other. If you go to, we talked about you'd never been down to Key West and played Key West, and we talked about our Songwriters Festival, and hopefully we can get you hooked up with that. But the first time you go, it really is kind of like a meet and greet thing. You start putting the faces with the names, and I always tell people the first time they go to Key West, don't worry about having a gig or anything, because somebody's going to pull you up on stage, and it happens that way, and it ends up changing your whole life musically, because so many people are willing to help you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been fortunate enough to go down to Belize with the Jerry Jeff Walker group, the Friends for Life. Nice. And I was invited down a couple years ago. Just showed up with a guitar, didn't know anybody. My uncle invited me with him, so I went with him. And it's that way, people are like, hey, get up here. You got a guitar? Come on. Can you sing? Sing a song. And it's awesome. Then you meet some people. You go back a couple years after that, and you make some great connections. So it's a great community there. It reminds me a lot of what what's going on here, you guys as well.
Well, yeah, Jerry Jeff Walker I'm a big fan of Jerry Jeff Walker. I know the hippie chick down here in the bottom corner. She's wave up there, hippie chick. Yeah, here we go. We're big fans of Jerry Jeff Walker, and that's a good group to go with, Friends for Life in Belize. That's a pretty kick. How did that come about?
He said his uncle.
My
his
uncle.
That's right. That's right.
My uncle. He was up in Erie, and him and his buddies used to listen to Jerry Jeff records all the time. And so one day he told me that he just called up and said, if you can come to Erie, I'll sell out a show. And Jerry Jeff was like, who is this? Where are you? And he was like, I'm in Erie, Pennsylvania. And he sold out like 100, 200 seat spot.
Wow.
And they just became friends. And so then he started going down to Belize with him every year. And yeah, so he just grabbed me and took him with him one year.
Wow, that is fantastic,
Awesome
man.
story,
That is cool.
That is really cool. What a great group of people to hang out with. So you've got the...
Oh, yeah. It's always just fake it till you make it. That's the lesson, there,
A lot of people...
Confidence. You got to have confidence to make the call, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. So you got the new song out, Rough Seas, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, that just came a little under a month ago.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and play that. I'm going to put you back in the green room, and we'll play the song, and then we'll come back, talk a little bit about the song, and then wrap it up, okay?
Awesome. Sounds great.
All right, here we go.
The sun came down and kissed the sea. We were headed out to the reef just to see what we'd find. Waves told whispers from another place. Oh, I couldn't shake that smile from my face. I didn't draw the line. Yeah, we got rough seas ahead. Better head for high ground instead. If not for that radio, we be dead. Just float along. Oh, 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 oh. City streets at night, oh, they sleep so sweet. We saw them met at the beach just the other day, yeah. He ran down, see if he could get us a light. Oh, he didn't even put up a fight. Yeah, he got caught in the swarm. Yeah, we got rough seas ahead. Better head for high ground instead. Not for that radio, we be dead. Just float along. Oh, 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 oh. Thought it'd be safer if we all got high. We kept our eye on the tide. Yeah, 'cause we got, oh, we got rough seas ahead. Better head for high ground instead. Not for that radio. Just float along. Oh, oh, yeah, we got rough seas ahead. Better head for high ground instead. Not for that radio, we be dead. Just float along. Oh, 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 oh.
All right, there you go, man.
I love it.
What a great song, man.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's fantastic. So, how did everything else about you has a story behind it? So, tell us a little bit about the story behind the song there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this is the first single off of my new record that'll be out in May. Actually, I know the song dropping 2 Sundays, February 5th or 7th, something like that.
Okay.
But this is the first one, and I've been calling this my Willie Nelson record. Just 3 chords and the truth. Even though I say that song's got 4 chords to it, don't count. So yeah, all these songs have some stories to it, and that song there is actually a Belize story. We were doing a fishing trip out on the reef one day, and the boat captain gets this radio call, and they said, tsunami warning, headed right your way, head to shore immediately and make your preparations. So he booked it back to the shore. We didn't know what was going to happen.
Wow.
Just dropped us off, and so we went to our hotel. I think we're on the 3rd story, and I was with my my wife and my uncle, and we just went up to the 3rd story and cracked a couple beers and kind of watched the water. Like, if this is it,
this is it.
Down, you know?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So once we got back to the States, I was like, you know what, that's a pretty good story for a song. So
Yeah.
into a song. It's I like writing songs that have kind of like specific story verses and general choruses. You know, Rough Seas Ahead could be a lot of different things for a lot of different people. So I like writing songs that have a story, but then also can kind of connect with a broader audience as well. So,
Sure. Yeah.
that's kind of where the writing of that one came about.
So do you have a band that you work with, or is it just you, or there's a lot of people playing on?
Just me.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's just me at the moment. The term Monallo came about because we had a band, and when we changed different pieces, we didn't have to change the name of the band at all. It's just one all-encompassing word. So for now, it's just me, but I have friends that, you know, and former band members that could hop in if needed. And but with this record, go back a little bit. I'm a huge Jack Johnson fan.
Me too.
You know, my progression was Jerry Jeff, Jimmy Buffett, Jack Johnson, and through Jack Johnson, found G Love, Donovan Frankenreiter, and Matt Costa. And Matt Costa is produced my entire record.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And so that song there features his drummer Corey Gash, and Matt Costa's playing the lead slide guitar, and then I do the bass on this one and the guitar and the vocals. But it was like a dream come true. I've been listening to Matt for 14 years or whatever and longer, and to be able to work with him one-on-one on the record, it was just so cool.
That is
amazing.
You know,
that is fantastic. I mean, that's a little unknown secret. You know, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I worked with Elvis, and you know, he's like, what? Wait a minute. You got who on this album? You know, that's really cool,
That's
man.
awesome.
So it was awesome. I got to go spend a week one-on-one with him, and he did like this picture here that, you know, he took me on a little photo shoot, and he's like, let's get you a professional package. And he said, you know, sent me off and said, these are the best songs you've ever written. So feel confident about it. And it was great working together. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's awesome.
That's super cool, man. You know, anytime, you know what they always tell you, if you want to be successful, you know, surround yourself with successful people. And people, especially in music, supportive people that can kind of, you know, give you pointers, or, you know, and, you know, one of the things that I've kind of taken some pride on over the years is that people will send me rough cut songs that haven't been released, and they're like, what do you think of this? You know, and I've always tried to be as honest with them as possible. I think anybody that really knows me knows that I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. So sometimes, you know, people really need that feedback, right? You know, like, you know, the bass is too high. I can't even hear the vocals really well. You know, it needs to be remastered or whatever. And and that's just my opinion. And they probably send it to, you know, 20 other people and get different feedback or whatever. But I always feel good when somebody sends me something because they value my honesty about what they're actually doing, and you need that feedback. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially from a radio station where a lot of times, you know, you send it out to hundreds of radio stations and they may never even play it, or you may never even hear from them or whatever, you know. So if we invite you on the show, then I got to tell you, we love what you're doing. And it sounds to me like you've got a very cool vibe going with the people around you.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And like I said, I really appreciate you guys having me on, and appreciate you guys playing my music. It's incredible. It's pretty neat. You know, I had a couple people text me this morning like, "Hey, your songs were playing on the Tiki radio."
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's cool, man.
It's been great, and I love what you guys do. So thanks for having me be a part of it.
Well, you if you're ever coming up through Tennessee, you know, you can stop in here in the studio and maybe play some music for us, and tell everybody how they can follow you, your website, where they can get your music, all that good stuff.
So my website is monallomusic.com. Monallo spelled M-A-N. Oh my goodness, I spelled it wrong.
See, it's really not that easy. It's really not.
I made it so close to the end without a mistake. Oh my goodness.
I had the same problem.
Monallo is spelled M-O-N-A-L-L-O. Music.com. That's my website.
Yeah.
There's links to everything. Facebook, it's Monallo, M-O-N-A-L-L-O. And Instagram is Monallo Music.
Well, there you go.
And those are the best spots to find me and see what's going on and where I'm playing next. And as far as listening to the music, pretty much wherever you stream, it's on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, SoundCloud, Amazon, Deezer, Tiki Man Radio.
That's right. That's right. And you got to make sure you spell it right if you're searching for it. If not, it'll come up a whole nother person.
It will. You got to be careful. Yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, buddy, we appreciate it. And when you get new music, make sure you get it over to us. We'll get it in the station for you. And, you know, I'm going to reach out to you probably this week or whatever, give you the information about the showcase down in Key West. Maybe we can get you down there. Love you to be a part of it. And
yeah, that'd be incredible.
Anything we can do, you know, if there's, you know, if you need to know any information about somebody else or this, that, or whatever, feel free to give me a call. You got my number. I'll be glad. That's what we're here for, is to help you do whatever it is you need to do. All right.
That's incredible. I really appreciate that. It goes a long way for the independent artist. So
there you go.
Very much.
All right, buddy. We're going to let you fly. We appreciate you taking time for us, and we'll see you down the road, okay?
Awesome. Sounds great. Great to meet all of you.
Nice
you so
meeting
much.
you.
Hope
All right.
to see you in person sometime soon.
Yes.
All right,
Take
buddy.
care, guys.
Take it easy, buddy.
Yep. Get up. You too.